Good morning, everyone. Welcome. All right. I want to, Ty, thank you for bringing us that beautiful introductory, that music there. So it's good to see everybody here this morning. And I will start by welcome everybody. And as a matter of fact, you know what? Put it right here in the chat so that everybody can read along if you would like. Say it with me. We are an open and affirming science of mind community where the vibration of love lifts you, the wisdom of the ages inspires you, and the science of mind teaching empowers you. We believe that heaven and hell are states of consciousness that you experience in this lifetime, and that you are the architect of your life, and it is never too late to know true happiness. All right. I want to welcome everybody here. I welcome anybody who's here for the first time. I know we have Christine. Welcome. Thanks for being here for the first time today. And anybody else who might be here for the first time, you're always welcome. Join us anytime. We have just a reminder for everybody, if you are a member of our community, we have a town hall meeting that's happening after the service today at 11:45. So we ask you to stick around for that. If you're not a member, there's no need for you to be there. Just an update on the status of the center and where we are. So welcome everybody again. Dave, thank you for, if you're here somewhere, Dave, for doing the Science of Mind Sunday this morning. That was very good discussion that we had going there. So turn it back over to Ty for our opening chant, and then Toni for our opening treatment. Thank you all.
Good morning, everyone. I am going to be playing from several sources, so I might be looking a little confused at times, but you won't see it. I'll mask it. And I'm also dealing with a bit of a cold, so I'll be doing probably some alternate choices just for smart's sake. Let there be peace in my mind. There will be peace in the earth. I want you to close your eyes and sing along, muted of course. Om Shanti Om, Shanti Om, Shanti Shanti Om. Om Shanti Om, Shanti Om, Shanti Shanti Om. Om. Peace inside my mind, God and only God is moving me. Peace inside my mind, God and only God I live to see. Peace inside my mind, God and only God is moving me. Peace inside my mind, God and only God I live to see. Om Shanti Om Shanti Om Shanti Shanti Om 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 Om. Peace inside my heart. Peace inside my heart. God and only God is moving me. Peace inside my heart. God and only God I live to see. Peace inside my heart. God and only God is moving me. Peace inside my heart. God and only God I live to see. Om Shanti, Om Shanti, Om Shanti, Shanti, Om. 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 Om. Om Shanti. Peace inside the earth. Peace inside the earth. God and only God is moving me. Peace inside the earth. God and only God I live to see. Peace inside the earth. God and only God I live to see. Peace inside the earth. God and only God is moving me. Om Shanti, Om Shanti, Om Shanti, Shanti, Om. 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 Om Shanti Om Shanti Shanti Om Om Shanti Om Shanti Shanti Om Om Shanti Om Shanti Om Shanti Shanti Om Om Shanti Om Shanti Om Shanti Shanti Om Om Shanti Om Shanti. When there is peace in my mind, then there will be peace in the earth. Om Shanti. Om Shanti. Om Shanti. Om Shanti.
When there is peace in my mind, then there will be peace in the earth. What I know is that there is a power and presence. There is a power and presence that is love, that is light, that is beauty, that is harmony, that is wholeness. Wholeness, which means there's nothing, absolutely nothing missing. I know that this power and presence creates all of life, and it expresses in and through and as all of life, which includes me, and it includes you. Yes, even you. And what I declare and affirm with this word is that this power and presence, with all of its power, all of its intelligence, all of its qualities and attributes, expresses in and through and as me, and is available to little old me, that there is no lack or limitation of any kind. And although I may not see, I may not understand, I may not know, the truth is the presence of God is everywhere, evenly present, and therefore even within me. I declare and affirm with this word that each one of us is divinely guided and inspired to not only be aware of this truth, but to call it forth in our lives day in and day out, moment by moment, so that we can be more, do more, experience more, love more, have more, create more. I affirm the power and presence expressing fully and completely by means of each one of us. And in so doing, it unfolds perfectly in this world. I give thanks for this awareness. I give thanks for this knowing. I give thanks for this expression of the divine by means of me and each one of us. And so I release this word into the law, knowing that it is the truth and it is done, and so it is.
So it is. And thank you, Toni, and thank you, Ty. So right now in the chat, I've put in there our affirmation for October. So if you look at your chat, you can read along. I am a powerful stand for truth, capable of recognizing my role and the potency in being a loving change agent on this beautiful planet of ours. Spirit, as me, multiplies this good and ordains me to make a difference in the world using love. And so it is. All right. So I'm going to go back to our speaker of the day, Toni Hamilton. Thank you, Toni.
Good morning, everyone. So, last Sunday, Reverend Michelle spoke about having difficult conversations. And this week, we're going to talk about some things that some of us may well consider difficult. I know. I do. I have to be reminded. And so I'm going to remind us. But the first thing I want to remind us about is that our teaching religious science is a teaching that is based on principle, that is based on the fact that there are spiritual laws that exist in this universe that we can use, that we can utilize for our highest and best good. This is a teaching that is based on science. And what that means is that we can test those spiritual laws and find out for ourselves personally whether or not those laws are true and actually work. Now, this though requires that we study the teaching and actually use it, actually do something about it. So I have no issues with whatever level of engagement that anyone chooses for themselves within this teaching. But what I do want to stress this morning is that we have spiritual tools and spiritual practices in this teaching that we need to really use in order to get the benefit from them. So based on our investment, our involvement, our use of our spiritual practices and the depth to which we've invested in them, those things are going to impact and influence the kind of results that we get. This is not mentioned to guilt anyone, just to put things in perspective and make us aware. And one of the things that Reverend Michelle constantly reminds us is to use our spiritual practices every single day, to use our spiritual practices often so that when we need them, we have already developed a skill. We have developed our tools and we're intimately familiar with those tools so that they can really serve us when we need them. So now, the difficult thing that I would like to talk about and address once again, because we have before, is the conflict that's going on in the world. And one of the reasons that I think it's important is because it appears that conflict is escalating. So, as humans, we're designed for survival. And what I mean by that is our bodies, our brains, are actually designed so that we keep ourselves safe, so that we stay alive. And the interesting thing is that our teaching has been in existence for many years, but scientists are beginning to catch up with and actually perform experiments to prove some of the things that science of mind has been teaching for many years. Now, to me, this is a good thing because it gives us evidence and it helps us. But the truth is, those of us that practice the teaching collect our own evidence by using the teaching and our spiritual practices day in and day out. But it's really good and it's helpful because someone reminded me yesterday, I won't mention her name, but I'm grateful to her. Someone reminded me yesterday that it's difficult for us to believe things when we don't have evidence of them. But the way that we get evidence is to actually practice and use this teaching. And so we have within our brain something called the limbic system. And I'm not a scientist, I'm not going to go into deep scientific detail, but what the limbic system does is it's involved in processing our emotions and our response to the things in our environment, our response to our emotions. It also plays a role in memory and learning, and it literally, when it's activated, releases hormones within our bodies so that we can do things like run if we have to. You know, that fight or flight response that we hear talked about so much. There are actually other responses, but we won't go into that. Another thing that the limbic system does with all of its parts is scientists are now testing and proving that there are certain areas of the brain that activate and respond based on what we're experiencing. And so, for example, the parietal cortex of the brain is an area where you can measure and identify its activity based upon our spiritual experience, based of our experience of oneness as it takes place within us. And so it's really, I think, beautiful and fascinating that they're able to actually measure these experiences going on that heretofore only people who had those experiences talked about, and the ones that didn't probably might have thought that we were a little nutsy poo. So I just wanted to stress that because this teaching is religious science, that we can actually utilize it and prove it. And I think that that's really, really important, because if we don't do that, then we don't know the truth of it. We can't stand on it and we can't live by it. Okay. So I want to mention that Michael Beckwith talks about 4 stages of spiritual awakening. And we've been taught about these. Reverend Michelle has spoken about them more than once. And so the first level is that things happen to me, that something outside of me has control or influence over me, that life is happening to me. And that's kind of what we call a victim awareness or a victim approach. And then there's things that happen by me. I'm in control. I'm manifesting my experience. I'm using my God-given talents, my spiritual practices, my ability to meditate, to visualize, to do whatever it is I do, to create the life that I want to live. And then the next is that life is happening through me. And that's with an awareness that spirit, God, consciousness, whatever you want to call it, is expressing through me. And usually when that happens, we're following guidance and our intuition. We're allowing spirit to use us, and we kind of surrender to that experience and co-create with that experience. And sometimes we talk about being in the flow when that happens. And if you've ever experienced that, it's really a profound and beautiful thing. And then the next one is that life happens as me. There's no separation. There's an experience of being at one with life, at one with all that is. And sometimes we glimpse that in meditation. Most of us, unfortunately, are not at the level where we are able to live from that place. We say that the yogis, the priests, the ascended masters, they do that. But that's not something, unfortunately, that is the norm, to be in that state consistently. We normally have glimpses or experiences of it. So the first state, things happen to me, that's victimhood. And the last state is I am a part of everything and at one with all of life, but not the speaking of it, the being of it, the experience of it. Now, why am I talking about these things? Because I want to talk about conflict today. And I would like to suggest that conflict comes out of the dynamic of victimhood, of feeling separate, of not having that experience of the oneness, or the experience of the presence, God, again, whatever you want to call it, working through us and all of life. So Reverend Ian always says that what's missing for us is embodying the teaching, that we need to really be able to embody it. And that's part of what I'm speaking about today. So I want to offer to you and ask you to consider that we are all part of this oneness. Our consciousness, our spirit, our energy, our personality, our bodies are all part of this oneness. And who we are, what we do, what we think, what we feel, what we believe, what we express contributes to the whole, to the collective, and it impacts what's outpicturing in our world. So let me explain. Most of us have some kind of internal conflict. We may not think of it or consider that it's impacting the rest of the world because we don't see evidence of that usually. The first point of contact that we see evidence of it is usually if we have a conflict with someone else, but not that the conflict we may have within ourselves is impacting and contributing to the world. So when we have inner struggles and we have a lack of clarity, when let's make it simple. I want to be slim, but I can't seem to figure out how to overdo it, and I don't want to give up French fries and ice cream in order to do it. That's a conflict. My family is Catholic, and I really, really, really want to go to a Pentecostal church. That's a conflict. I want to save money, but I hate the feeling of being deprived. So I'm in conflict. I really want my dad's support, but I'm afraid to tell him what I really feel because I just know he's not going to approve. That's a conflict. We also are often in conflict with other people, sometimes our very own families. We usually evidence that as siblings. That seems to be a normal thing that human beings go through, a little tug of war with our siblings. Sometimes on a larger scale, I believe in freedom, but I don't want strangers moving into my neighborhood. I built a business, but I don't want people to participate in my business that I don't like or that I don't agree with. I want to teach my kids what I believe, and I don't want anybody else to teach them. They're my kids. That's my right. So there is a paradox of truth. It is your truth versus my truth. But within conflicts, the critical thing is actually not who we agree or disagree with, who's right or wrong, like most of us think, but that we recognize each other's divinity and humanity. I'm going to say that again. The critical piece in conflict is that we recognize each other's divinity and each other's humanity. I want to affirm that all life is precious. All life is precious because it's all God. So let's notice what we do and choose consciously. Do we ignore conflict because we feel overwhelmed, because it's bigger than us and we feel too small to change it or influence it? When we have not embodied the teaching, that knowing, that spirit, God within us, works through us, that it can work through us, then we don't understand or believe that our small self can contribute, can influence, can make a difference. And so we may go into denial, we may ignore it, or worse, get caught in the energy of judgment, of criticism, of right and wrong, and take sides. What we do not want to do is take sides. Why? Because we become embroiled in the conflict and become part of it. It's important that we don't allow ourselves to go down the wrong emotional or spiritual path by buying into the stories that we hear along the way. It could be our survival mode or protective instinct, but it causes separation, the perspective of enemies that can escalate into conflict and become the opposition that we see in our world. We see it in politics, we see it in schools, we see it in churches, we see it in families, and we see it in countries. What we may not realize is that we really can impact and make a difference. We can hold the high watch and be a stand for peace. What we don't always realize is that nothing is too big or too small for the presence for God. So, where are you conflicted in your life? You personally. Where do you take sides? Where do you create separation in your life? Where are you dishonest with yourself, not taking good care of yourself, criticizing yourself or another, making yourself wrong, being mean to yourself, punishing yourself or others? As within, so without. I think a beautiful example of this and something that we can utilize and hold on to is the story of Ho'oponopono. So there's a doctor, I want to say this man's name because you never hear his name because it's difficult to say. His name is Dr. Hilaekala Hugh Len. Ihaleakala Hugh Len. Forgive me for messing up this man's name. In Hawaii, he was a doctor, he was a therapist who was treating people in an institution for the criminally insane. And what he did, he never saw the patients, he never met with them, he looked at their charts. And after he looked at all their charts, he took 100% responsibility for what was going on with them by recognizing what was going on inside of himself. And he said, I'm sorry, please forgive me, I love you, thank you. Over each of these patients' charts. Wait for it. They were all healed. Now, this may sound like the most ridiculous thing to you in the world, but it is one of the reasons that it is so important that we have evidence. Richard Bach said to remember your miracles. It is important that we use this teaching and remember when and how it works, because we live within the oneness. And we are a point of God in consciousness in this oneness. So how can we as individuals contribute to resolution of conflict and help to bring about peace? By knowing the truth of oneness, by knowing that there's a power and a presence and intelligence that is capable of resolving anything, and that we as aspects of this presence can open ourselves to healing the conflict within ourselves, practicing forgiveness, self-forgiveness first, and doing our best to live within the awareness of the oneness. Allow ourselves to be guided by this oneness. Why? Because our understanding of and our connection with spirit determines the outpicturing of our life. On another note, love is a critical element in this life. Freedom is a critical element in this life. Our ability to self-actualize and be creative dynamically impacts the quality of our life experience, because nothing is more precious than life. No matter which side of a conflict, you, me, them, or we are humans who love. We are an important aspect of the whole. Our loved ones, our hearts, our hopes, our goals, our dreams all contribute to this experience that we call life. And so whether standing right next to us, whether down south, up north, or on the other side of the planet, what happens inside one of us impacts all of us. I want to read a message that was on our home CSL site. It's a message from the CSL, Spiritually Motivated Social Engagement Committee. I'm going to say that again. The CSL, Spiritually Motivated Social Engagement Committee. It is a quote from our founder, Ernest Holmes. It says, "The promise that comes from practicing a conscious sense of union with the divine is a deep, abiding peace, even in the midst of personal or planetary challenges. We can create a spiritual chain reaction which can bring peace in the midst of chaos." I would like to close my talk today, if I may, with us doing our peace practice. It is one of my favorite things that we practice at our center. And so, if you will kindly just bring to mind first and foremost yourself, and call forth love and compassion for yourself and any conflict you may experience within you, known or unknown. And just have compassion for yourself. And repeat after me. I am the peace that I wish to see. And then bring to mind your family members and anyone that you may have a little bit less than peace with. And repeat after me. I know this peace for my family. And then bring to mind your greater extended circle that you call your community, or people that you interact with and know. Maybe there's somebody at work you wish you didn't have to interact with, somebody that works in the store that you frequent, someone that teaches your children, whoever it may be. Bring them to mind and repeat after me. I know this peace for my community. And then if you would, bring to mind the things that we hear about, that we have decided really don't have anything to do with us, that we're not a part of. The conflicts that are going on down south, up north, out west, over in the east, on the other side of the world. And affirm with me, my community knows this peace for the world. Let's take this into treatment. And so in this moment, I ask the power and presence that I call God to speak by means of me, as I know this truth for each one, for absolutely everyone, for the world, for the universe. I affirm that there is a power and presence that is love, that is light, that creates beauty and wholeness and harmony, that expresses in and through and as all of life. And I declare and affirm I declare and affirm with this word that this power and presence expresses first and foremost as love. This power and presence expresses first and foremost as oneness, that the multitude of forms that exist, no matter what they are or where they are an aspect of this oneness, a piece of the whole pie. And so each one has the same qualities and attributes of the one available to them. And so what I declare and affirm with this word is that this intelligence that is all powerful and all knowing and everywhere evenly present expresses in and through and as each one, informing, guiding, uplifting, and allowing each one to see and recognize the truth of who each one is, the truth of who we are. I declare and affirm with this word that there is absolutely the ability for each one of us to contribute in our own way to peace, to the full out expression of abundance and prosperity and freedom and ease and joy and cooperation, that no matter the conditions currently, the truth is love, the truth is wholeness, the truth is creative self-expression, and it is so much more wonderful and desirable than conflict. The truth is that who I am is okay. I am perfect, whole, and complete. No matter what I may be judging, no matter what I may be criticizing, no matter what I may be worried about, the truth is love. The truth is love. And so what I affirm for each one is that love, that divine presence expresses more fully, more powerfully by means of each one of us, so that we are able to allow it to move through us and create the world that we would really love to see, to create a world that allows us to be who we choose to be, our highest and best self, without any judgment, without any criticism, without any oppression, without any lack or limitation of any kind. Just loving beings, having fun, being who they are, the divine expression of God, unique, individualized, but all of the same source. I affirm this as true for everyone. And so I simply release this word into the law, trusting that it is done. And I ask you to join me, please. And so it is.
Perfect segue. I'm going to pop you up a little bit, get you moving a little bit, as we affirm that you have the power. We have the power to change everything through love. What if the world was a better place because of you? What if your heart had more compassion in all you do? the world would be a better place. We'd all live with ease and grace. Just believe in the dream, it can really come true. Here's what you do. Join hearts, let love's healing start. Join hands, let love heal the land. 'Cause I got it, you got it, the power to change the world. I got it, you got it, the power to change. Oh. So by now you know it starts with questions. You get to ask that question of yourself. Here's question number 2. What if your smile was the currency to purchase the dream? What if your heart held every soul as its love supreme? A love supreme. We wouldn't study war no more, holding love always at the core. Lifting the world, all people to the highest esteem. Ooh, it's more than a dream. Join hearts, let love's healing start. Join hands, oh, 'cause I got it, you got it, the power to change the world. I got it, you got it, the power to change. Sing along. I got it, you got it, the power to change the world. I got it, you got it, the power to change. Now that you know it, let's live it. Just remember, the power is so simple. The power is love. Don't let them stop you. Here we go, singing along. I got it, you got it, the power to change the world. I got it, you got it, the power to change. Your turn. I got it, you got it. Now look at the screen, everybody's singing, I love it. To change the world. I got it, you got it, the power to change. One more time. I got it, you got it, the power to change the world. I got it, you got it, the power to change. Yeah, you got it. The power.
Thank you, Ty. And thank you, Toni, for that wonderful talk and leading us in the peace practice. Very good. So now is that time where we step into our gratitude and our appreciation for all that we have here. And the conscious giving, it's when I listen to talks like Toni gave today and all the talks that we have here at the center, you've seen me get emotional about the power of this philosophy and this teaching and what we can bring. And, we've been here 21 years and we've done it because of this community being strong and building and the giving that's done in every way. And I think Toni drove the message home that we need it now more than ever. So please know that we will have what it takes to keep delivering this important message. And I have put into the chat the conscious giving affirmation. If you would please read it along with me. I bless this gift that I give today. I give this gift from my heart and I give it mindfully. May my gift go further to heal, prosper, and bless this center and all who enter. I accept all good that comes as a result of this flow, knowing that it returns to me multiplied abundantly, and so it is. And there are the ways that you can give. If you need anything, my number's at the bottom. I am happy to, well, I guess I should have put it in the chat and I never did, but there it is now. So apologize for that late, little bit of a delay. What's going on? Well, I'll tell you right now, today, please, those who are members of our community are invited to stay. You can stay on this link. We have a town hall meeting that's happening at 11:45 today. So there'll be a short, like 15-minute break from when we're done here, and then come back, stay, leave your computer just logged into the Zoom link. It's going to happen right here. If for some reason you got disconnected, an email went out this morning again at 10 o'clock to everybody, all of our members, that shows them what the link is and has a document there for you to take a look at. So please take a look at that as well. Today, we are on Zoom. Next week on the 29th, we will be in Montclair, and we will be live and on Zoom next week. So please pay attention to that. All of this information, by the way, cslnj.org. It is always there on our website. Updates, the link for Sunday mornings is there. The classes are there, the events, everything you need to be involved is there, as well as in the newsletters that we send out a couple of times a week. If you want to be on those and you're not, let me know, and I'm happy to make sure that you do get on them. We have the ongoing She Speaks Women's Gathering with Nettie. I'm sure that's going well, and that's going to be the once a month. Yeah, Sandy's giving a thumbs up there, so that's a good sign. That's going to be a once a month meeting. We also have programs coming up on the 4 agreements with Vita King Blanchard, and also the course coming up on forgiveness with Reverend Michelle. So there's always great ways to grow and open up. So I think if there's nothing else that needs to be added at this point, that we'll go over to our closing song and see you guys later. Thank you.
Okay. So, of course, you know, as we've been experiencing, life is